Hello, my name is Control Jones, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Wow, tongue twister in the beginning. Welcome to my YouTube video. So I'll get right into it. I really don't want to take too much of you guys' time today, depending on how many people this reaches. But basically, it's been going on. It's obviously in the news, but President Trump fired the head of the Bureau of Labor and Statistics after a massive 250 K job downward revision. I know some people in the media are saying authoritarian, but I kind of want to just introduce some facts for those who are just more curious and really don't have the time to look into things and really just want to see people's opinion on it. I voted for Trump. I'm not going to say I support everything he does, but I will try to at least give benefit of doubt and defend it if there is reason to defend it. So this is going to have a little bit of defense, but it's also going to have some opinions of maybe what he could do differently. So the BLS commissioner serves under the Department of Labor, which means legally the president has authority to remove her, no matter what the spin is put on it by the media. But here's where it kind of gets murky. The revision wasn't small. It was the largest 2-month downward shift in years, and yet no real-time explanation, no supporting documentation, and no accountability followed. Just trust the process. So I know you guys probably heard that before, but it's probably you heard it under then President Biden, with job numbers falling apart months later. You and I both know there's no outrage, no firings, no questions asked. In fact, Biden's BLS quietly revised down 818,000 jobs in 2024 with barely any whisper from the press. So that's just that. And I really recall hearing too many people say anything about that, at least on the Democratic side. The Republicans, some people tried to cover it, but it wasn't made like a spectacle. It wasn't really a very vocal thing that was talked about. So was the firing political? I think so. I think it was partially political, but also think it was partially due to some of the wishy-washy things that happened with this person that was appointed, Erica, that was appointed by Biden. So I do believe, and this is like a 75% belief, really, actually 65, that she should have been fired based on the numbers alone, because you can't really have that big. You shouldn't, if you're working in the government, you shouldn't have that big of a revision downward or upward, really, because it really just points to incompetency. If you're using guesswork and your guesswork is off by that much, it kind of throws around, is this intentional, and speculation. So, if your estimate is off by $250,000, you can't really show your work and still have the public trust. Show your work. If the job report is actually true, show the work. Show us why the revision made. What made you change it? Why would you guess something 250,000, $250,000 off? Why would you do that? And really, you've given President Trump every reason to fire you. I mean, you were there for a few years. You had ample amount of time to get things right and sorted, but here we are. So at the very least, it raises the question, was this a simple error, or was there something else going on behind the scenes? Now, if you believe something's going on behind the scenes, of course, leave your comments. But my knowledge of what I've been able to read and what I've been able to see is that this person may have loyalties to Biden and inadvertently or intentionally puts out erroneous, job reports just to revise it down to be like a gotcha moment. Now, there's really no gain for this person to put it like that if you have reason to lose your job. But if she's being honest, and I give her the benefit of doubt as well, if she's being honest and this was a true reporting, then her firing isn't justified based on the numbers, but it is justified based on the level of a gap. If you're going to use estimates to say jobs created with this high, at least have the data to back it up, actual data, not guesswork. I know a lot of times when it comes to reporting, from what I've seen, reporting is only getting worse by employers. Out of all the employees, I keep saying employees, of the employers that's reporting back, 60%, out of the employers that reached out to, 60 to 75% at most is reporting back. So they use the rest to fill in the gaps, but still 25% not reporting back doesn't usually result in an error of 250,000. at least in my opinion. I don't think it should. If there's someone who can speak better into this and think I'm wrong about the situation of how it's reporting and how it's being done, please leave your thoughts. But I just want to put it out there that Trump's right about firing certain people. In this regard, I say again, 65% confidence, because at the end of the day, you know, you've been in office for 7 months. In my opinion, the least you could do was talk to the person and be like, what's going on? Try to get the facts for yourself. If he's done that behind the scenes and then fired her, so be it. But I don't think he would have. I think maybe in his mind it's just another person who's against him, and his mind may just be triggered to get rid of the person. I don't know. I don't pretend to read his mind. I don't pretend to try to know what his motives is. Sometimes I try to, you know, you look at the facts, think it logically about it. This isn't an issue when it comes to fascism, as someone might have tried to put it out there. This is a fascist act. No, I mean, it's the BLS. They don't do anything. They're almost independent, not truly independent, but it's like all they do is report things. Has nothing to do with the country at all. And someone might say, well, this leads to something else. Well, if the 3 branches of government aren't doing their jobs, then that's the bigger problem than Trump doing what he's doing. And that's just my personal opinion on it, which I believe they will stop Trump if Trump is getting too far in his boldness, if you will. But again, leave your thoughts, leave your comments. If this video gets recommended out by the YouTube algorithm, of course, because I only have 1 subscriber. But if you see this and, you know, it interests you, please drop a like, subscribe if you want. I try to keep up with politics and being a political commentator. I know I'm new to this, and I don't want to sound like I'm just blindly following Trump. I'm really not following Trump. I'm really just on his side for the present moment till he does something so egregious, or it's like I just can't simply, you know, have my support for you. And really, it's not really support. Again, if you watch my other videos, if this is the first one you're seeing, there's a video I put out there where I say I'm a Trump voter, not a MAGA supporter. So I'm not a MAGA supporter. Just want to clarify that in this video. But yes, this is the end of the video. Please, if you watched it this far, I thank you. I appreciate you, and continue to have a good rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.